Good morning, everyone. Yep, here we go. 10 o'clock Eastern. Look at the markets now. All green. I mean, talk about volatility. We have the Dow up 200, the Nasdaq's up 260. Not too long ago, they were all down. What a change. Trump's reciprocal tariffs are officially in effect. That includes a 104% tariff on China, and China has responded, playing hardball. They've raised tariffs on U.S. imports from 34 to 84%. Then we have the European Union. It says it will impose its first countermeasures against U.S. tariffs. That'll come on April the 15th. However, they also said those countermeasures, they can be suspended at any time should the U.S. agree to a fair and balanced negotiated outcome. Okay, here's a problem for the markets. The yield on the 10-year Treasury has gone straight up. It's now 4.36%. The price of oil has gone straight down. It's now at $57 a barrel. Bitcoin, it's down, but not that much. Well, actually, it's up a fraction. 78,000. That's the quote right now. Anthony Pompliano with us this morning. This is all about China, Anthony. And my opinion is this. They're isolated and they're vulnerable. Their economy is not doing well. As I said, they're isolated. You agree with me?
America's the king. And there's a rule in life, which is if you come at the king, you best not miss. And I think that's exactly what China's going to try to do here. Is they're not going to fold easily, but I think that they're going to try to resist this. And America, they have a much better hand to play with. And so I do think that there's going to be immense pressure on China to figure out some sort of trade deal. And the United States is talking about a lot of countries that they're going to do these trade deals with, which is going to take pieces off the board for China to play with. And so what I really find interesting is people in the United States, we underestimate China's ability to manufacture, be high technology, et cetera. But they've done it in a very unfair way. And they've stolen a lot of IP from America, and they've caused a lot of problems for American companies. But also the American people underestimate America's ability to build products. And so what I think we're going to see here is we have a trade war on our hands, but also we're about to see a manufacturing war. And it's going to be the Chinese versus the Americans. And I would never bet against American entrepreneurs. I want to get to Bitcoin. This morning, we've got it well below 80,000 bucks. You're at 77.4 right now. Anthony Pompliano is still with me. Look, Bitcoin just doesn't seem to be a safe haven or a store of value at this point, does it? Well, I think that Bitcoin has actually performed better than most of the Mag 7 or other kind of risk-on assets. So that's kind of on a relative performance basis. But more importantly is in moments of fear or uncertainty, correlations of asset prices, they go towards one. We can go back to COVID or the global financial crisis. Investors get nervous. So what do? They look what's liquid in their portfolio. They start selling it and they want dollars. That's true of every single kind of market downturn or moment of uncertainty. What really we need to pay attention to here is as these asset prices go down, when it bottoms, which it will bottom, it's not going to go down forever, and we see a recovery, which I think will be a V-shaped recovery, and we'll hit new all-time highs in stocks and Bitcoin before the end of the year. Who leads the pack? And my guess is that Bitcoin, if we look 12 months in advance, will be the better performer than all of these stocks. And so in a weird way, you now have people who hold Bitcoin because of the ETFs that also hold stocks. And so they're going to start treating that asset very similarly to the way that they look at their equity portfolio. If they're nervous, they're going to sell everything that's liquid. And so you're going to start to see the correlation of Bitcoin and stocks get higher. I don't think it will ever become as high as maybe, let's say, bonds or other types of assets. But I do think that Bitcoin's days of being a completely non-correlated asset are probably behind it. And so you just got to understand, hey, it's going to be a little bit more correlated, understand what's happening in the macro environment, because now you got the big Wall Street institutions and they're playing the game as well.
Moving in parallel with the stock market. That's what you think. All right. Anthony, thanks very much, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.